is cloud something that analysts are telling us we need and the industry is trying to grab onto a trend to make some more money? And are our business customers actually demanding it? Or is cloud really a good application for things like Apple? That's a music shop in the cloud. Or Salesforce.com always gets mentioned as a good cloud application. Amazon's a great sort of cloud application, really. It's virtual bookshop. Are those what we're going to see as clouds, or are we really going to see mission-critical business applications driving the future of the industry?
So I guess to answer the question, I suppose the analyst community is at fault in a sense to start with.
Great.
And it's based on logic which doesn't always apply to someone when they're spending money. So the logic you're applying is you're saying, it's much cheaper, why do you want to keep changing your equipment and your software and so on everything? So that's the basis for it. And what's giving encouragement is there's a lot more connected people. But let's not forget, emerging market connectivity is still wireless primarily. So the moment we put SLA into that, we've now got a whole host of other problems. But just stepping back and saying, what's the reality of cloud today? We have the situation, if we look at it from a market perspective, and very broadly speaking, you've got the large multinationals and large corporates, you've got the mid-end of the market, you've got the really small-end customers. We already have, there's a lot of resistance from the top end because they do a lot of their own services as well. So they're always buying piecemeal. They will say, okay, I'll buy cloud for that particular aspect. It's going to be a hybrid for some time to come. No one's going to let you control that network. It's too important. The bottom end of the market is the one who should theoretically benefit the most from that. Because they're the people who, do you want a good website? Do you want a hosted email service? We can do it much better than you could ever dream. But these are people who you cannot contact. These are not people who you can put a Salesforce out and say, I will go and market to these people. And these are people who Google and AWS are servicing. And there is a lot of take-up, if you like, on cloud services. Hosted email, if you want a real name to that, right? The hosted email, some payroll activities, infrastructure, web hosting, all this is real today.
So the Google spreadsheets and all that sort of stuff?
Well, I'm not so sure about the Google spreadsheets.
Okay.
More about hosted email for sure. Google Apps, I'm not sure if anyone is really using it. Microsoft is still, I think, fairly dominant there. But you're right. It can happen at some point if you have reliable connectivity, and we're still wireless, so that's not reliable enough. But it's the middle segment, right, which is a very large revenue part. That's interesting. You come from a company that did something quite innovative in this space, and that's the one which is probably large enough to reach to, but not already overserved by all the Equans and BTs and Cable&Wireless and everyone, right?
We don't overservice people.
But that's the segment that relies in a sense on having some way, and I think it's difficult for a large international global carrier to service these effectively without having a local partnership.
Sure.
This is the segment that should theoretically want cloud, whatever they want. We don't know beyond email and a few others, but that's how we see the evolution. It makes sense. At some point, it will get there. I think whether it's 3 years or 20 years is